Good day. I'm Gilbert Camorongan. I'm student of Institute of Graduate Study IGS at Philippine State College of Aeronautics or PISCA. Also an instructor of Aircraft Maintenance Technology program at Don Bosco Technical College, Mandaluyong City. I'm here to present to you a research entitled Comparative Analysis of Selected Pre-Flight Inspection Checklists in General Aviation. My co-author are Mr. Elohim Benedict Laurel, Joshua Gonzalez, Peter Paul Ocampo, and Mr. Leo Mendel Rosario are all from Institute of Graduate Study of PILSCA. Introduction. The list of aviation catastrophes around the world that were caused primary language misunderstanding, miscommunication, or even confusion between flight crew and the personnel, especially when the language uses and races are different. The pilot are required to inspect quickly adjustment, preferences, and analysis of the component must be properly function. The entire structure of the aircraft must be intact prior to their departure, and what is often overlooked are the important documents that will prove that the aircraft is safe to fly, and the acronym used for how many decades found and said to be lacking. The objectives of this research are to recognize all of ways of translation of aviation terms, acronyms, and abbreviation as an effective way, introducing more complete, reliable, and easy to memorize acronyms for the documents of board requirements, information for each person in the important things that must be checked before an aircraft is allowed to fly. This means that each person must be knowledgeable for all important things that must check prior for the aircraft departure. And lastly, know the content enforced by ICAO. Methodology. Using Key Information Interview (KII), aviation personalities who work and are involved in aviation, especially those who knows about the documents and what is needed for the safe flight of aircraft research analysis, we use the qualitative approach. Comparison of Arrow and Warriors acronym, which comprises through FGD or focus group discussion. We'll also conduct an interview with companies that are actually using Warriors. What was the effect on them since they no longer using Arrow? And conduct a group discussion for those companies that still using Arrow acronym for their pre-flight inspection. Survey. We have here the survey, 12 prepared questions for pilots, student pilots, and aircraft mechanic releaser. We interview more aircraft mechanics since they are the first personnel to check the aircraft from documents to engine, power plant, and structure before they turn it over to the pilot to fly. We also ask about their experience and length of time in service aviation industry. This is important because it can be good basis for their answers. We also ask them if there will be a big impact if Arrow is replaced by Warriors, and the answer of the majority is yes, because according to them, it is difficult to change the custom, but they are willing to change if it serves well and security not only for the aircraft but also even their lives. And last and the most important things in our survey is what acronym they are more prepared to use. And what came out in the survey is Warriors. They are more likely and is complete compared to Arrow, which started to be used since 1958. For the discussion, weight and balance certificate. First letter of Warriors. Determining the weight of an aircraft to furnish the flight crew with information on loading and operating the aircraft, the allowable weight and limit including passengers and their baggages. Airworthiness certificate is an FAA document which grants authorization to a registered aircraft owner To operate an aircraft to fly, registration certificate from ICAO standard in Annex number 7, the aircraft must be registered and the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP has delegated for their flight standard. For radio license, ICAO Convention Articles 29 standard specially state a radio license and operator permit are required. The signatories nation of convention agree to follow ICAO rules. If not, let the ICAO know and the difference but the ICAO recommendation. The United States is the one of the signatories of this convention. Insurance. The aircraft insurance cover and repair to damage airplane or other flying machine. Comprehensive coverage may also include damages caused to airport, hangars, and other relevant land-based property. Pilots or airline operators will also carry aviation accident insurance to cover injury or even death. Owner's manual includes system description, normal and emergency procedures, preliminary techniques, and performance data. Air Record aircraft logbook will let you keep a detailed record for your flights and serve as a quick reference to the airplane recent history and constitute the primary flight crew reference for the operation of an aircraft under normal, abnormal, and emergency condition. Safety equipment. Safety equipment aboard aircraft was notified robust and image item. One is life vest. Life vest to be checked if it is good looks and has not reached the expiration date. Fire extinguisher. Agent extinguisher contain HCFC 123, one of the cleanest, most powerful extinguisher agent on the planet. They are extremely lightweight, yet packed with tremendous power and throw to penetrate past even the finest grills and meshes. Medical kit. A self-inflating manual resuscitation bag. Equip Equipment with the needed for the continuation respiratory support. Axe and rope. Aircraft emergency equipment essential to the safety of the passengers and crew during fire, rapid decompression, ditching, and emergency evacuation. Give crew and passenger efficient means to handle safety hazardous situations that could occur in the aircraft. Flashlight. LED flashlight that is intended for use when the portable emergency light source is needed. For the discussion, the FAA Standard District Office decided to make it easy to memorize the required documents using acronym ARROW. Ever since August 1958, the FAA was created. That when you ask pilot what kind of paperwork should be placed inside the plane, they will quickly respond is ARROW. Using an abbreviation during flights takes time to say or less right. The acronym ARROW was also thoroughly implemented at all aviation industry in the Philippines in accordance with the flight instructor curriculums for their student pilots. July 7, 2010, the birth of Warriors. Here's the comparative analysis of the two acronyms, the ARROW and Warriors, which serves as a reminder of the important documents that must be checked before they allowed to fly into the space. ARROW consists of airworthiness certificate, registration certificate, radio station license, operating limitation handbook, and weight and balance certificate where all warriors have. Insurance, record logbook, and safety equipments where ARROW don't have. Again, the insurance, record logbook, and safety equipment are not included at ARROW. Here's the result. Companies that already use warriors, the pilots, the mechanics, and even the owner of the company agreed for warriors implementation. The companies that do not use warriors and still use arrow have also agreed for warriors after explanation and discussion. There are few low length of service in aviation personnel who do not want to replace arrow with warriors because they say it has been used for a long time. In total interview, it appears that more people wanted to recommend the Warriors acronym for the important documents that should be inside the plane while it is flying. Conclusion and recommendation. The research of the professional aviation English terminology is based on the studying of the appropriate ways of term formation, usage of abbreviation in acronyms. This research is to formally declare and become an authorized acronym warriors, more to be concrete and complete documents from its being arrow, which has been used for more than a decades for expedite validity and completion of important documents that should always along with the plane in its flights. Aviation terminology is still developing. That is why it is recommended for more effective to apply all ways of professional translation for full and adequate understanding in the process of pilot-controllers communication. Since 2010, July 7 to be exact, warriors used and recommended by some aviation industry and have tried to use it until now, particularly at Plaridel Airport, Bulacan, and even some flying school at Subic, Zambales. Here are the 6 references for our research. Thank you for listening.